Welcome back. Should I have some lights on? Does that help? No, doesn't make a difference. Right. Welcome back. Back in the Z4. It is back on my driveway. It's been a week or so since I filmed the first video on this, and I'm going back in the drive. And I have been having a bit of a mooch around. So I wanted to. There's going to be two parts to this video, I think. The first part, I want to go back to front of the car and tell you everything that's wrong with my very cheap BMW Z4 3-litre SI Coupe E86. Bit of a mouthful, that, isn't it? But I think this was the cheapest run-in driving 3-litre SI Coupe in the country by far, in Montego Blue. It's got to be by far. So I bought this sight unseen from an auction. There were pictures so I could see the damage, but it was down as a non-runner. But in the pictures on the auction, there was a picture of the rev counter and the engine was running. So you tell me, how much would you have been, let me know in the comments, how much would you have been happy paying for this car? No MOT, 56 plate, 157,000 miles, fair few owners, relatively high mileage, average mileage for an average car, probably high mileage for one of these. But I have seen ones with higher. I think on Auto Alex's channel, Taylor and Rory had their black coupe, and that had 214,000 miles in it, albeit it was probably rebuilt by Bruno. Anyway, tell me how much you would have been happy to pay for this, and I'll see maybe in the next episode how far off we were. But I think this is be the cheapest. Even if I spend some money on it, I still think I would have spent the least amount of money to get myself into this particular spec Z4 3-litre SI Coupe. So let's start from the back, and I will show you everything that I have found so far that is wrong with my E86 Z4 3-litre SI Coupe. Let's start from this side. Nothing really that I can see is wrong. We've got all our reversing sensors are in the right places. There's no cracks in the lights. They're the facelift lights, the proper lights for it as well. Somebody's changed out a smaller little aerial for it, I think. The tyres are good, the wheels are good, the exhaust tips are clean. A bit scratched, but they're clean. I don't like the press plate, so that'll be going. We have got a very faded BMW badge, but the problem with that is it also doubles up as a boot latch. So I don't know how easy it is going to be to change that. We've got this lovely big central brake position light there. And somebody has fitted a Maxton design spoiler, and I've had a look online, and these are about 180 quid. So they're not cheap for just what appears to be a little bit of plastic, but I do think it sets it off lovely. Nice factory tinted glass, but very dirty. You can see where it's just been sat for such a long time. It is very dirty, and I just love that swaged view of the roof there. But I think this is a very good looking rear end on a car. Okay, around this side, immediately obvious it's had a disagreement with something that was slightly harder than it. But again, tyres, wheels, all good. Factory tinted rear quarter. We've got door handle damaged and the door damaged, so I'm going to get a new door for it anyway. But again, look how much it's been sat. It's just mould everywhere. But the anti-trap stuff works on the window. So that's good. That's pretty rare, I think. Good news about this is I have already sourced a new rear quarter, and it is currently in for paint. All this bolts off. All this rear quarter from here all the way around to here and up and over here. This is one big bolt off panel. So when you unbolt it, you can just bolt another one straight on. I think I'm going to have to drop this fuel cap down to my painter to get it painted as well. I think that could be saved, just a bit of rub down and some paint, but the door's going to have to be changed. But I'll keep all the barrel, etc. out of it anyway. Right, run to the front. Well, this wing's in good order. No damage there. Obviously the bumper is broken. Nothing wrong with that. Then there's the obvious damage to the front bumper. Now I do believe that this is a genuine Z4M bumper. and I'll just put up a bit of a screenshot as to what the differences are. This is a much more aggressive looking bumper, and I really do like it, and I just think it's just going to be too far gone to repair, you know. Lights are okay. This one's still kind of in its mounts, bit cloudy, but we can clear that up. You can see on the bumper here where there's just some big old cracks and some big old creases in here, so I don't know if this can be saved, to be honest. All the mounting points for the kidney grills, they're all snapped. Yeah, this one's just, that's just loose in there. I don't know where that goes, but we'll get it off. This headlight is snapped, you can see in there, mounting point snapped, so I'm gonna have to try and repair that. Someone's fitted stupid LED lights which just stay on constantly, I don't know why, so I'm gonna have to take those out, but these will have these will come out, and I'll give them a rub down and a polish and some clear coat on it. The bigger damage is to this front crash structure here, and you can see where this should be flush with that. So what's happened is it's obviously been in a front end, the crash structure's done what it's designed to do and bend in the places that it was designed to bend, protect the driver and passengers and what have you, but is now beyond repair. So I have got a brand new used item off an E86, and what did catch me out is the difference between early Z4s, pre-2005 I think, and later Z4s, and mine's a later one. Now the difference is, see there where there's a bonnet catch, there's not much going on, is it? And if you look at the bonnet, not much going on. Now that's by design, because if you look here and here, they revised it to put 2 bonnet catches on the bonnet, and they put 2 bonnet catches there. So the early, as far as I understand, the early Z4 front crash structures will not fit the later ones because of those 2 bonnet catches. So I've got a new new front crash structure. So I'll be taking all this apart, bumper off, rad pack out, everything out of it, replacing the front crash structure and putting it all back together. And I'm hoping that this will solve these alignment issues that I've got here. But, you know, we can play around with that. Engine wise, I haven't been able to determine if anything's wrong yet. I've driven it a grand total of about 10 miles. Did have a bit of a lift to tick. This morning when I drove it, it seemed to have disappeared. So I'm hoping just after a couple of drives and giving it some revs, that's resolved the issue. But I do have some things I want to do to this modification wise in terms of inlets and just release some of the noise out of this N52 engine. On this side, front tyres, I think in the last episode I said are about 1 million years old, so they'll be changed. I'll be putting a set of Eagle F1s on it just to match the rears for now. Front wing's fine, this door is fine, and again, anti-trap works on that if the door's open, which is not. This wing does have signs of bubbling here. Little bit of sign of rust bubble, so I might get that in, once it's all up and running, I might get that into my mate in the body shop and just rub it down and repaint it. Right, and that's the outside, but I still think it's a fantastic looking car. Let's move on to the inside. Okay, moving on to the inside. What have we got? We've got our electric non-heated memory seats, which is just bonkers. In decent condition. Bit of bolster weight on this one. Could do with a little bit of a tidy up. I don't know if there's some repair kits you can get to just refill some of the foam in there, but this is slightly weak. It's not too bad, you don't notice it, but yeah, it could do with a bit of a freshen up. Other than that, it's in good condition. All the electrics work. Passenger seats in really good condition. I don't think it doesn't look like there's hardly been anyone sat in it. Other than that, everything else works. Yeah, handbrake works. All this stuff works. All this malarkey, all this HVAC stuff works. As you can see, all the warning lights work. Let's see if it starts. There she goes. I've managed to get rid of some warning lights, and then they've immediately come back on. So I have done a diagnostics on this, so we can run through. What have we got? We've got ABS warning light, brake pad warning light, tire pressure warning light, bulb warning light, and traction control warning light. Now, all of the ABS and the brakes and the traction control and the TPMS are all going to be related to the front right ABS sensor, which is throwing a code, and it is a persistent code even when I clear everything. So I'm going to have to change our ABS sensor, or it could be a like a reluctor ring or something on the hub. So I'll look into that. The bulb, I don't know what it is. I'll have to go around. I think it might be a number plate bulb actually, which is annoying, but I'll get the number plate bulb replaced. But the engine's sounding really good. Yeah, I like it. Sounds really good. Everything works. The auto lights work. I don't know if the auto wipers work or not or anything, but yeah, everything else works. All the headlights still work as well. Just, the only bulb that's out, I think, is the number plate bulb. I've got the nav in here, and in here I've got the nav disc. Then there's a 2014 disc in there that somebody's updated. So I've also got a 2019 disc in my E91 that I could probably put in here, see if it works. They're the same year car. It's got what I believe to be some sort of Storm or something gear knob. I'm sure somebody will tell me that these are quite sought after. It reminds me, I had a Ford Puma 1.7 once, and they come with aluminium gear knobs from standard. And when you're driving in the winter and you go to change into first gear, your hand immediately turns into a block of ice and you just want to burn the car. So I'm not sure I'm going to be a fan of this. Maybe in the summer. But then in the summer, it's just like touching, you know that scene in Home Alone where he goes to do the doorknob? And he's had a blowtorch to it. That's what it's like. So yeah, it looks good and maybe it feels nice, but I don't know if I'm a fan. Comment below, what do you think? Yay or nay? I do just like the standard gear knobs, you know. They're just quite nice to look at and feel. Also, I don't know what's up with this, but when I'm driving it, I can hear what feels like a bearing noise, or I can sound like a bearing noise. It might be difficult to hear, but there's a real metallic noise coming from the gearbox tunnel. I'm just on one of my mate's private driveways testing it out now, but when I lift it up, it goes away. I don't know if you can see, or hear, it goes away. And when I lift this up, you can see there's quite a bit of movement. If I can lift that up. When I lift that up, it goes away, and it feels like the shifter, I don't know, I don't know what the underneath of this looks like, but it feels like the shifter is resting on the prop shaft or something that turns, because it doesn't do it when the car's not moving. It only does it when the car's moving and the note changes with road speed, not engine speed. So which suggests to me that it's going to be the prop shaft that this is resting on. You can hear it. So I think I'm gonna have to take the surround off and take that off and have a wee little look. Oh, tell you what is broken, which is going to annoy me. Cup holder is missing an arm here. It should have an arm around here to hold your cup, because that ain't holding shit. So I'm going to have to replace that, which is probably going to be the most difficult job in the world. But this is what it should look like. See that little arm? That's what it should have. But yeah, you could hear the sound of that. It's probably got my little sunglasses holder that kind of works. Unfortunately, no sunglasses in it. Yeah, they work. No lights above them or anything, but this has got the optional extra anthracite roof lining on it, which I think is particularly smart. To be honest, there's not an awful lot else going in here. I've got my steering wheel buttons that work and my radio that works. I haven't had a chance to try out my sport button yet, but it lights up. I don't know what it does. What I have noticed while I was driving it is I think there's a little bit of a gearbox. I think there's a little bit of a gearbox mount issue, or maybe a diff bushing issue. There just seems to be a little bit of a slap or a thud coming from the rear end on when you're downshifting or when you're getting back on the throttle. So yes, all stuff to investigate. But I'm pleased with how much is working, and I'm comfortable with the stuff that isn't working is all. My phone keeps falling down. I need to get a proper mount. yeah, and I'm pleased that the stuff that isn't working, I'm comfortable that it's all fixable stuff, you know, there's nothing terminal. So I'm really excited to get stuck in. So hopefully the second part of this video will be me getting the front end off, getting that crash structure out ready for the new one to go in. We got a nice bit of weather and keen to take advantage and get motoring. So let's go. Right, now we're getting to it. Let's get this bumper off. And then we can get the crash bar off. And then maybe we can get the other crash bar on, but let's just see how far we get today. Not expecting to get that far today. I just want to try and get crash bar off and see where we are with some of this alignment concerns that we've got. Let's rock and roll. First task to get the bumper off. There's T30s. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them across there. Then we've got, which I don't think matters too much on this, these are side ones. And then underneath bumper, I think there's a load of 8 mils or some smaller Torx screws that are holding that on. So, cue the time lapse. Hi. All right. Guilty, guilty eyes. In my reflection, I'm falling from the skies. Losing everything. Here we go. Bumper's off. So next thing, you should just disconnect the washer hoses and these little clips like that. Try not to lose them, and they just wiggle off. Same on this side. You might have fog lights on your bumper. Z4M doesn't come with fog lights, weirdly. I'm interested to figure out. I'm interested to look in whether or not this is actually a genuine Z4M bumper. Nice if it is, but also really gutting if it is. I would say, judging by that part number, I would say this is a genuine Z4M bumper, which has had a pretty significant repair in the past by the looks. That is a lot of fiberglass holding something together. That's factory fiberglass, and we've been able to repair there as well in the past. Yeah, maybe this has had a bit of a bump in the past. See all this cracking here. This is a big crease here, and then there's a big crack here, and all this stuff which holds on. The kidney drills is all snapped off, so don't know if we can save this, but this is why we're changing this. All this is creased, big crease there, all that's creased, so all this needs to come off. So we need to get headlights out. I don't know if I need to take the wings off of that or not. Headlights out, crash structure off, rad pack out first, I'd imagine. So, this is the first time I'm doing this, so we're learning together once again. You just know, I don't know where I'm going, but I know one thing for sure, yeah, I could be so much more. I could be a fighter, when your back's against that wall and you're walking on a... Okay, so headlights are out, as you can see. And just to confirm the Z4M setup, these little scoops here are unique to Z4Ms, and you can see obviously someone's gone and bought some stuff from the breakers and had it all fitted plumbs. So unless I put a new Z4M bumper on it, I'm not going to need these. I'll keep them. They're probably quite hard to get hold of, and they look in decent nick. Headlights are out. Lots of things broken on the headlights. Tab broken there. That one's okay. That one's broken, and that side one's broken. So unless I can repair them, I'm probably looking at a new set of lights, which are not cheap. About 300 quid. So yeah, I've got to Get some bits done. I've managed to get a couple of these bolts out and round a couple more. And I'm trying to get the rad pack out, and I got to try and get this off here, which is kind of all attached in with the expansion tank, etc. So, yeah, tricky one, but getting there, making progress. You can also see where this has taken a hell of a smash. But that's what it's designed to do. It's designed to crease where it's designed to crease. Stops all that chassis leg getting crumpled up. The airbox is out. I just need to disconnect the air conditioning, which is already empty. Take the rad pack out and then figure these bolts out that are rounded, which I might need to wait for a tool for, because my tool then gone snapped. Progress. And I've drawn blood already. Fuck. And very quickly, because my battery's going to die. Embarrassingly, she's off. Not as easy as I thought it was going to be, but when are these things that easy, eh? Progress though.